talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs. Coming straight off the leash. She kill 'em all like the Reaper. I need a girl like MEKA. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo. Cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo.
Hey you guys, welcome to From the DMV Live with MEKA. I'm your host, MEKA. Give me just 1 second and we'll be right back. Welcome back. If you have not already booked your ticket or have not already made your reservation, we are now accepting reservations for the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. Please visit celebrityfiesta.com for further information. Welcome back. If you have not already let's turn my sound down. Sorry about that. Also, our guest for today, I'm not going to tell you who it is if you didn't already see the promo, but you probably saw the promo, huh? I'll give you a little indication. We are having the Krank train conductor in the building. If you don't know who he is, his name is BJ. Yes. BJ is a great personality, a great musician who has been in the industry for 20 years now. And we're going to be talking further about his evolution and his growth. If you have not seen the past episodes of From the DMV Live with MEKA, please check them out. I've had some great conversations. You can catch the replay on wearegogomusic.com. If you have not already, please go ahead and check those out. But just to give you a little familiarity with who MAB 2.0 is, I'm going to give you a little insight here. We're going to play a little bit of their music as we wait for our guests to arrive in the studio. I'll be right back with you. Give me just one moment.
If I tell you
You ain't started yet, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I did, but you're fine. Welcome back to From the DMV Live with MEKA. I am your host, MEKA, and my special guest is in studio with more than 2 decades. Two
Yes.
decades. Y'all realize how long 2 decades is, right?
Long time.
2 decades of experience in the go-go industry. And that's experience being in go-go, but that's not experience with go-go. You realize that, right, people? So my guest is none other than, as I said, the Krank train conductor, the leader of MAB 2.0. MAB standing for Mental Attraction Band, in case we're not clear. It is none other than Mr. BJ. Hey, BJ.
Hey.
Thank you for joining me.
I know everybody think I was a little bit late, but I'm working on my time. I was a little bit on time. A
Close,
little bit,
right?
yeah, real close. I'm getting way better.
Bam said you're never on time.
Never. I don't know
So
what
we're
is
working
wrong
to
with
fight
me.
through that, right?
Yeah. This year I'm trying to really be a little more punctual. I don't know. It's just something about me leaving my house and I never be on time. I'm sorry, but I made it here. I'm here.
You made it. That's the most important part.
It wasn't 30 minutes late.
Now, BJ, this interview has been a long time coming.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
just saying, I met you back on Bam 640 show. Shout out to Bam.
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
I was and Bam and I were interviewing you, but Bam's interviews are a little different. Because there's a few more people, it's more of a conversation of people.
Right.
Whereas with me, it's just me and you.
That's right.
So I'm just talking to you. I just want to delve into who BJ is, the evolution of BJ. Who was little BJ? Why don't we start there? Who was little Benjamin?
Well, I grew up around C Pleasant.
Shout out to C Pleasant.
Yeah, right there by the Sugar Shack on Birchleaf.
Mm.
It's kind of funny because I don't think that go-go was really my thing when I was a little younger, but everybody around me was, going to the go-go's and Smoke is from around C Pleasant. So we used to go see Northeast Groovers a lot. Well, I didn't. So they kind of talked me into going to the go-go because I was, back in them days, I was all about making some money. So I really didn't go out.
As many of us were.
Yeah. So so when I went out, I was like, you know what, this something I could do. So I started off. Nobody don't know this, so this is exclusive. I started off managing Mental Attraction, but it wasn't Mental Attraction at the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. See, it was called Child's Play, but because I was a little bit younger, but I always had a little bit of money. Growing up, I drove to school and all of that, so I was one of them. I had a Supra in high school.
High school?
A Toyota Supra, with the T-tops. Right. So I started doing that, and then I was just they was like, BJ, won't you, you got the voice. Won't you be in the band? I was like, man, I ain't in no band, man. I ain't had nothing. I ain't even have a MySpace. For real. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not being in no band. So one day I was just like, man, they was like, you should do it. And I did it. And they was like, see, you're natural. And that's how Mental Attraction Band was birthed, right around C Pleasant.
It's funny because I don't know if you know this, but the word on the street always, Mental Attraction, MAB is your band.
It is.
It's BJ's band. Yeah. Everybody knows this.
Right,
okay?
Yeah.
I don't care who's managing,
who's
running,
yeah.
who's promoting.
Yeah.
MAB 2.0 belongs to BJ, right?
Yeah,
but that makes so much more sense when you say that, you started off managing it before it even was MAB.
Before it was MAB. And then when I got in the band, we changed it to Mental Attraction Band, and it's been that for years. And please don't ask me how long we've been together. A long time. Over 20 years, I can tell you that.
Oh, wow. So who is the newest member to the crew? Who's the newest member?
The newest member to the crew, it got to be WB, man. My little brother that's on the front line singing and rapping with us. He always used to come and see us play. But almost everybody in this band is been here, Justice been here for 11 years. Congo E probably been here 15.
She's on a movement right now.
Yeah,
for real.
Joel been in here in and out, but I think he going on 2 or 3 years straight now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Because he was back and forth with what band in my band. Mr. My keyboard player, he was in the band years ago, he took like a 10-year break and he just getting back.
Mm-hmm.
My bass player, he's like one of my originals.
Uh-huh.
So he been here since Mental Attraction. It's nobody. Well, he's the newest person, but everybody in the band got some years with me.
That's dope.
Everybody,
That's dope.
everybody.
That's probably what makes you all so family-like anyway.
Yeah.
You all are definitely a family.
Absolutely, and I kind of like keep it like that because that's how I was brought up, like that, real tight knit and together. So. I think that's important to me. Like, if we can't communicate, we can't do nothing.
Yeah, that's the absolute truth. That's in anything, though. And nothing productive comes with lack of communication.
Nothing. But, so after that, we never played under Child's Play.
Okay.
So
y'all just practice.
Yeah. Nobody don't know that name, I think we probably did something like in the community room or something, but never nothing on the big stage. So that's why everybody just know as Mental Attraction Band. And that's pretty much what it started at.
That's
around
wild, though. But that's so wild that y'all were out here practicing this Child's Play. Shout out to TT.
Yeah.
Y'all were out here practicing. Y'all were out here practicing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Child's Play. And then when you got to it, though,
when we got to it, we turned it Mental Attraction.
A whole nother ball game, right?
Yes.
I mean, that says a lot. But so tell me, with regard to music, right? You said you were in a go-go, but you weren't necessarily, going to all the go-go's or anything. Right. So what got you into music? What was your first roots of music that you recall?
Man, you know what? I'm old school. Like, my grandmother used to have me listening to Otis Redding, The Temptations.
Otis Redding, The Temptations.
Otis Redding. I still listen to Otis Redding. Like, if you ever really, like, come see Mental Attraction, like a lot of our covers are old school, like Shaka Khan, or we kind of like go back because that's what I grew up on, so I always try to do some old stuff because then everybody not covering that,
right?
Everybody covering what's new, Glorilla, this, that, and the third. So but I kind of like go back to my roots because that's where I really started listening to James Brown and. We still hit Michael Jackson songs. It's kind of different.
You got one of my favorite songs. Can you feel
that's it? You know what? Yeah, that's my joke. So I try to like. That's my song. Yeah, I try to like bring something different because I know in go-go all of us are going to kind of like do the same thing.
Right.
So I try to go back a little further. And bring some stuff.
But so that kind of brings me to one of my main questions all the time, right? We have this evolution of go-go music, and we watched in real time hip hop and rap music evolve.
Yeah.
We watched it be like, what?
Hip
hop? What is that?
Yeah,
I don't have time for rap music. Remember people buying rap CDs and run them over with the little steamrollers and stuff?
Yep.
So rap and hip hop and all these other genres have evolved so much, right? And a lot of things that keep go-go from being able to reach our true, pinnacle or the heights that we could reach, I believe anyway, is that we don't have a lot of original music. You know what I'm saying? So what do you all do to keep people on the edge, to let them know what's coming next? Shout out to Serena also and Amber.
Yeah, that's all the Krank Train family on their team.
Yes.
They all come. They support me like everywhere we go. I love them ladies. I think that me and Super Dan just had a conversation about this last night. Him and Coop,
Okay.
They always call me and ask me questions. For all of them, they always call me like, let me ask you this. And we was talking about the music, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When Go-Go first started, it was about being original.
Right.
And you sounded like yourself.
Right.
Not so much now because you hear bands hitting sardines and pork and beans and lock it and it doesn't have an identity like it used to. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what the originality went. And now a lot of the younger bands, they don't see the older bands doing it.
Oh, right.
So they like, if they can make it by not doing it,
having to do that,
why do I have to do that? But it's a part of go-go. Like, we got a lot of stuff, original stuff out, on Spotify, Apple Music. So y'all can go download it, check it out. Mental Attraction Band 2.0. So
definitely make sure
it's important to do that. But I think go-go lost its way after that stopped being important.
That's true. Originality, right?
Yeah, it lost its it lost that when it was like, you know, when a cover band could be the top band,
right?
It makes you be like, shit, well, why am I breaking my neck to do originals? And they out here gigging, making $5,000 a show, hitting all covers. So it kind of like make you be like, man, you know what? But if you still want to keep your true, and there's only really one band that's really doing that, say two of them, like they hit all originals.
Right.
You know, Relentless Band.
Well, so what about you guys? What do you all work
we definitely hit originals.
Right.
We have a lot of originals, but we also do covers and, you know, and other things like that. The only reason why we do the covers is because people want that. It's kind of weird.
That familiarity.
Yeah, they want to hear their favorite song in a go-go format. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but you still got it. No matter what you do, always get them your cover, your originals.
I agree. So wait, now,
always.
Are you all available on all platforms?
Yes, all platforms, all of them. Spotify, any of them, all of them. We on all of them. And Can You Feel It on there too?
Yeah, that's my song, definitely. I mean, you don't hear a lot of people breaking into, you know what I'm saying?
Because you know, So you know, because I always listen to stuff, and I don't know, sometimes I hear commercials and my mind is just always listening. I can hear somebody saying something like, man, I'm like, you heard what he said? I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
Anything that I think that's catchy that everybody's saying, I'm going to kind of like use it. And the Can You Feel It didn't even come from the actual Michael Jackson. I seen a commercial of it.
Really?
It was a commercial, and it boom, 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 boom. I was like, hold up, I know this song.
Right.
And I brought it to the band. They was like, BJ, you tripping. Why you hope? But I said,
different vibe,
just
though,
listen to me. People that know this song, as soon as it come on, they be like, they hitting that.
Right.
You know, that is it's a wow factor. Like, you always want to keep people like, oh, man, ain't nobody never hit that.
Now, for people that are not, you know what I'm saying, in the DMV area or not from the DMV, who've never been exposed per se to go-go, or only know, you know, maybe Sardines might be the only song that they know, what can they expect when they come to an MAB show? When you come to see MAB 2.0. So I might not go to the go-go. That might not be my thing, but I'm in town and I want to check out MAB 2.0.
Okay.
Shout out to Justice J, by the way, in the chat.
Justice J always working. I don't know. She always, that's our PR person. She always
but she's on it
all the time. Yeah,
oh, and hold up, while we're shouting her out, everybody check out Justice J's album.
Poetic Justice.
Please drop the Poetic Justice link in the chat, Justice, if you're still here.
Yeah,
we can make sure that we check it out. Now go ahead.
I can tell you when you come to see us, man, you gonna see a lot of people that's together. Even from the people that support us, we all stick together. Like we all come together in them clubs, and you know, we all talking to each other. We all it's real, like we really fellowshipping.
Yeah.
When we get in there, like you're gonna see the band and you're gonna see the people that support us all together.
I agree.
It's always a vibe.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get something different. Like I know that when y'all go out, y'all gonna expect all the latest what's happening right now. We're gonna give you some of that, but we're gonna give you something old too, something that you like. I ain't heard this, some Sade, you know, Taboo. Like, I ain't heard this in a long time. They hitting this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then, you know, then we're going to give you some originals. And we also hit some of Justice music, too. So you never know.
Oh, yeah. That's probably.
Because we're very versatile. We're very versatile. But, you know, that's a gift and a curse in go-go.
Well, yeah.
People want you to be one way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And they not used to you being able to do all different styles of go-go.
So
they give me a hard time.
If you had to categorize yourself, what would you categorize MAB 2.0 as?
A hybrid.
A hybrid?
A hybrid band. Like,
is it more indica or sativa dominant?
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no. But I can tell you this. I kind of like, I get a lot of backlash from being so versatile.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah. People book my band and they be like, what MAB am I going to get? Listen, everybody, please just because you see us playing something extremely hardcore at 808s and cowbells, we can give you a softer side. We have a female in our band that sings. So whatever you want, we done played for 60-year-old women birthday parties.
Are you serious?
Yes. Because you're not going to always get mental attraction from what you see on the internet, because that's what people like, and they record and they put that out.
That's true. That makes
But
sense.
you have to really know the band to know they're very versatile. Like, we can dress up and do all them covers and all that stuff too. So I don't ever want nobody to think that we have a lane. We don't have a lane.
Like,
we drive drunk.
Pigeonhole. You said you drive drunk.
We in all lanes.
I like that. I like that.
Lanes.
We're in all
we drive
lanes.
Drunk. We in all lanes. People like, stay in your lane. We don't got a lane. I don't know what a lane is. We in all of them. Every last one of them, we gonna swerve in all of them. So that's just how it is. But you just gotta really know the band and know I'm gonna get them to do, we can do a 15-year-old birthday party all the way to 60, 70-year-old.
It's just a matter of saying what they expect.
Yes, because people look at that and they just think, they're just gonna play this way.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to play. We don't have a certain style.
Right.
Like some bands have a style that they play all the time.
Style, yeah.
We don't.
I think that's a good thing, and I have seen you all do them all. I must admit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I found myself in that. When you go see a bounce beat band. Everybody in my
people hate that.
They're like, by the end of the night, you just doing this.
Yeah.
At a certain point, but y'all will hit a bounce and then drop
go back
into
the
something.
socket.
Yeah,
and then we'll go into a song. People don't like that. We kind of I get a lot of backlash from doing that.
Really?
Yes. I think that I don't get as booked as much as we supposed to, because they think that we're gonna come to their show and we're gonna bounce
and do what you want to do.
We're gonna do what you pay us to do. That's what we're here to do.
Right.
If you say, BJ, y'all got to do all covers the first set, fine. I like doing that. I don't have to work as hard.
So tell me, with you joining in, with you starting in Go-Go, right? You said people were like, why don't you try doing the lead mic? Why don't you try, to do vocals? Why don't you do on the mic? And you were a little hesitant, right?
Yeah.
So that first time that you got on the mic, I'm sure you've evolved steps and leaps and bounds since then. Give us a little insight to that first time.
The first time on the mic, my own band was like, we probably gonna have to get rid of you. I was the sorriest. Because see, I was the one with the least experience. And everybody in my band, the original Mental Attraction band, they already been doing go-go.
Right.
I didn't do it. So when I got in there, I was a rookie.
Oh, see. Yeah.
I was a rookie. I had the voice. And you know what happened? They told me, it was a guy. Once I got in the band and I was running the band, I got a guy to managers. And he was telling the band, y'all gonna have to get rid of BJ.
Because you just didn't have it yet.
He don't got it. So when they told me that, I said, all right, bet. I went home and I wrote down every crew name that I could think of. And I sat in my grandmother's bathroom in the mirror.
Are you serious?
And I just lead talk and said crews. And I did that every single day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every single day. And now they can't fuck with me.
I think a lot of people don't realize. So, I used to be a performer, right? And so I sang in front of, 30,000 people, right?
Okay.
Here's the kicker. I didn't have to know anybody's name. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have to shout out anybody.
Yeah.
I just had to know what I came to do and do what I do, So I really do give a lot of credence, a lot of honor. I take my hat off to all of you conductors, for real, who are up there conducting a full band and a front line and doing your performance.
It's a lot.
It's not an easy feat at all.
Not. And
so when they told you had the voice, they didn't tell you about the other part.
They ain't tell me about nothing else. So I was just like, So when I started practicing like that, so I realized people be like, you don't say also. Lead talkers always say, also, my main man. Also, I don't say it. And I never knew that I don't say it. I used to bet people You would never hear me say that. If
Say
you
also.
find a CD with me saying also, I'll give you $100. And you can go all the way back to 2000. You can go back to 2000. Because me writing it down on that paper, I never said also.
You didn't write also.
I didn't write also.
So that's not what you learned.
So
like that.
I told myself that way. And they was like, why you don't say that? Because everybody says it.
Right. How you practice is how you perform, though.
So I never say it. And my man be like, you don't never say that.
Hold up, I wanna give a shout out to the chat too. First off, this is Justice J's link if you all want to check out her music, and I think you should. www.justicejmusic.com. Also, TT said BJ is one smart man. I had to say something about that because you are smart.
That's my baby. She pleasant, man. That's what we do.
Terrence said, "Hey nephew, shout out to Terrence." Coop
text me every time I'm on something. I'm surprised he ain't called me.
And then Justice said, we cater to the crowd, not the internet.
Absolutely.
So if you come to see an MAB show, MAB 2.0
pick where you want to come.
Oh, hold up. Justice said, also can't forget about.
Yeah.
You say that one?
That. I don't say that. Also can't forget about. Also my main man. Also, I don't say that. I don't know why. Now I'm going to start saying it.
You can't forget about.
Yeah, you can say that. But also, it's like, I don't know.
And Coop said the Krank train is on a press tour.
Man, we trying.
Y'all on a press run?
Yeah, we get
Y'all about to take over for the summer?
Man, what? It's time.
So what can we expect for the summer from MAB 2.0?
Oh, man, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We going to be performing on the boat this year.
Where?
We getting it together.
Okay.
It'll be in June.
In the area, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to probably leave from the wharf.
Oh, perfect.
And we're going to play while we're on the water. Yeah, we're going to probably be all white. We never done that before. So, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. And, we done been to Miami and Fort Lauderdale a million times. I see you down Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So, we're just going to try to push this narrative a little more harder, like get a little more active. And I try to tell all my bands, if you out of sight, you out of mind.
That's the truth.
You cannot get nothing done by sitting at home. I know the logic to this is like, oh, I would rather sit at home if I can't get X, Y, Z.
Right.
I'm not like that.
Right.
It's the opportunity. Like sometimes if the opportunity presents itself and the money ain't right, I'll make it right for my band just to take that opportunity.
I think that's very important.
You know
it's funny. I was just talking to somebody. I have a red carpet I'm doing in California, right? And they're like, "Well, is it worthwhile?" And I'm like, "The opportunity is worthwhile." You gotta. As the opportunity, I just finished telling somebody there's a message or an opportunity in every experience of every moment of every day of your life. It's up to you to take advantage of it.
And I see Chuck looking at me.
Yeah,
and he the one who told me that. We was at Ebony Inn. I used to play at Ebony Inn because that's around Sea Pleasant. And he used to perform there. And me and him had a conversation. And he was telling me, he was just like, don't worry about the money. He said, I started playing in here for chicken wings in the bed.
That's a word.
And that's what he told me. He said, never chase money, always chase the opportunity. Thank you, Godfather. That's something I kept with me my whole go-go career. That's probably why I'm still relevant to this day. Mental Attraction Band has never broke up. Has never started over. Only you see different band members, but we never stopped playing. You just see people gone and people in that place. But the band never stopped playing in all these years.
So, okay.
Never stop.
Now tell me, I know you deal with you deal with the go-go community, you deal with music, you deal with the band, but then you also have your own personal life, of course, right?
Man, yes.
And life, as it tends to do, I don't know if you know all about my show, but my show is about grab the mic and inspire, right? Okay. So we have conversations with inspiring people on why existing is not enough.
Right.
You know you're an inspiring person, whether you want to be or not.
Right.
I mean, for those of you who don't know, I remember being in Florida with my daughter at a cheer competition, and we're running through the halls and, trying to get everybody in order. And I look up and who do I see? Super Dad over to the left. Nobody but BJ. He's sitting there super Dad. And, I didn't interrupt his flow. I gave him a quick shout out from across the room and kept it moving. But my point is, we know that you do real life also at the same time. And if you're doing real life, life has to life.
Yes.
So can you share with us an experience or a story when life might have hit you so hard that you felt like you were going to fall if you didn't fall? And how did you get back up and keep moving?
when I lost my original drummer, Bam, and that's why I really never stopped, because me and him wanted this to go. Like I thought I hit rock bottom when I lost him. Like I didn't get up. I didn't want to do anything. I was just done. Cause I mean, I started with this man, and I'm used to looking back and seeing him on the drums.
Yeah.
And when I lost him, I kind of like, I was over it.
You wanted to play possum?
Yeah. Something just told me, like, you know, when I went to his funeral, they had to make me go to his casket. And I think he just told me, was like, don't ever stop. We started this. You got to go to the end. And I keep going.
Amen.
Amen.
That's the truth.
That's the real reason why I don't never stop. And I shout him out all the time. His birthday coming up March 29th.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
Yeah, so we usually celebrate his birthday every year. But I guess people, when they only see you on the stage,
they forget.
I lost a lot of women from that because they like this too much. Like, you can't go out to eat. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't go shopping. You can't do anything because somebody gonna notice you. Like, man, why y'all ain't hit such and such on that night at Tacoma Station? Man, y'all was. Some women ain't ready for that.
It's no longer my time, and now it's
it's like,
always on.
And I'll be like, man, I appreciate it, and I love you, but I'm just. I'm like you, just try to chill. That's all.
Yeah.
But you don't try to be rude. But I get it. They only see you on the stage.
I was about to say,
they don't think you go to the store, or they don't think you grocery shop, or they don't think you sit down and have a nice meal.
Right.
They're like, man, I be driving down the highway just last week. I'm driving, dude in a truck. The trolley was like staring at me. I was like, hey, it's like, don't you got a bag?
You forget who you are.
I was like, yeah, I do.
Do you ever forget?
Yeah. I'm always like, I don't be thinking about that. But the most.
1 second. Let's take a moment for Bam real quick.
Yes.
Let's take a moment real quick for Bam. Definitely rest in power.
That's right.
Now, but yes, you forget who you are, right? I know it has to happen to you because it happens to me.
I know.
So when I forget that people see me because I interview you all. I interview other people, so I'm not really thinking about the fact that I'm also in the video, I guess. But it's more so the stories about you. So what do you do? What was the craziest one?
The craziest one. Potomac Mills.
You were almost out of town.
I'm in Potomac Mills. I'm walking. White kids. These are white Caucasian kids. They just staring at me. I was like, I don't know. I probably look weird to them. I got dreads, big black motherfucker. So I'm walking. They was just like, hey, excuse me. Are you on YouTube? I was like, yeah, I guess. I play in a band. He said, I told y'all. I told y'all that was him. And they asked me for my autograph. Oh man, that hurt my man. I don't know. I almost cried. But I was like, I ain't never stopping this shit. This is what I'm talking about right here. Right, yeah. And that was the most incredible moment of my life.
Can I tell you what's most amazing about that? 9 times out of 10, those little Caucasian boys were not in the go-go.
They wasn't. They see me on YouTube.
Were they even old enough to be?
They said they was teenagers.
That's what I'm saying.
They said they see me on YouTube performing. They was like, aren't you on YouTube? I was like, yeah, I guess. And it was like, I told y'all. He told his friends. I guess nobody didn't want to ask me who I was. Yeah, that was that. And I put that on Facebook and Coop and them. That was a few years ago, and I was like, that was crazy. And Coop was like, see? Because I remember Coop was the first one who commented on it. Because I said, man, it's crazy. It's good to know when you out and people recognize who you are. And kind of make you feel like your work ain't just gone in vain. Right?
That's the truth.
Like, people really paying attention. Even though you think they not, they know who you are.
You forget who's watching. And you not, okay, so another thing I always tell people. So you realize the sun shines every day, right?
Every day.
But it doesn't shine because of you or me or the plants. It shines because it's the sun. That's what it's made to do.
That's right.
But the sun sun doesn't think about how great it is that it's shining for us, or how much we appreciate. Like, yo, I'm warm because of you. You know, I'm growing because of you. So you have to realize how many people, like when that did happen, when you lost Bam, right? Yeah. Had you played possum, would your light have been able to reach those little boys? You know, so I think that's amazing. So that's exactly what this show is all about. You feel what I'm saying? Like the inspiration that you just shared, you just expanded the view of go-go music, but because you kept going.
That's right.
Because of your
tenacity. I didn't stop, and that's one of the reasons why. And I got so many people. Awesome. I got so many people that want to see me make it. Yeah. You know, like I tell my band that all the time. Like, you know, I'm doing this for legacy at this point. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been doing this for so long. Like some of them was in school when I was doing this. You know, that's in my band now.
Hold on a second. We created confusion in the chat. No, not R.I.P. Bam 640. There's
God damn!
640.
No.
Shout out to Bam 640, actually. But the original drummer for MAB is Bam, and so that's who we were talking about.
Yeah, y'all can go to this page, man. Eddie Ross.
Yeah, Bam 640 is above in the chat talking about his son BJ on the show today.
Bam is my son.
You know he said that. I know. Tell you that.
I know. That's my oldest boy, Bam.
Your oldest boy, Bam. But yes, so yeah, you went through all of this stuff. So with regards to being a dad, right? I know you do all this for, the community. You do all this for the DMV.
I'm a grandfather too.
You're a grandfather, DJ? Yeah. DJ, I did not know that.
Yeah, I got two.
How old is it? How old are these grandchildren?
I only got one. She's 2.
She's 2?
She'll be 3, yeah.
That's you've been a grandfather for a minute.
Yeah.
She's 2 about to be 3.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But okay, so out of everything you do and everything you represent, if there was one lesson that you want to make sure you pass down with regard to your legacy, to your child, your children, your grandchild, what would you want that one thing to be?
It's always what I tell everybody. Never let nobody tell you can't do something. Ever. Ever. Because, I done came from nothing. And you can make something happen as long as you got breath in your lungs. You can make it happen. I tell people that all the time. Like, people know my story of where I came from and, what I had to go through. I left home at 13 years old.
Why?
I was a drug dealer.
At 13, BJ?
13. Yeah, 13 years
Sign
old.
Of the time.
I was, back in them days, that was the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and we was still going to school fly. Like, we was buying $100 jeans, polo. We all had the polo, the Eddie Bowers.
But wait. When you leave home at 13, right?
13.
Where do you stay, BJ?
Man, I stayed in rooming houses. I stayed in friends' houses. Then eventually, like around about 15, 16, I got somebody to get an apartment in their name. That's how much money I was making. Like, wow. And I was in high school. I think I was making like $5,000 a day.
Okay, that's a little more than the school prices, I'm gonna say.
Right? Yeah, I told you I had a Toyota Supra.
That's right. You did say that.
I had a Toyota Supra
that
with T-top.
Explains that a little more.
I'm driving to high school, so I had a white one at Crossland. So my story a little bit different. Like I finished school though.
Right.
I kept myself going to school.
That's a shout out for that.
Yeah, and I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And at the time, I wasn't thinking about anything, but I was in survival mode.
So, what was your relationship like with your parents at that time?
My father, we don't really got a real deep, relationship. My father was Jamaican. Okay. So, but my mother always, was on my team. Like she still is to this day. That I talked to her today. She was getting her hair done. She still called me a little boy. Like, little boy, you better do this and do.
So you're always
like, right. But you know what? I think that I fell like really deep in love with my mom. I had COVID, and I live in a house. I got a house, and I lived there by myself. Okay. And so I thought I was gonna die in that house because I didn't have nobody there with me. It was just me.
Right.
My mother came over there, 65 years old. She came over there every day.
Are you serious?
She put her mask on. I said, "Mom, I don't want you to get sick." She was like, "I ain't worried about that."
She said, "Little boy, I'm here
The
to
little
take care of
boy,
you."
she was up in my house giving me soup, making sure I was all right, doing the little dishes downstairs. She was, and I said, you know what? If this lady loved me like this, I gotta love her forever.
Yeah, for real.
Forever. And
real.
Me and my mother talk every day. She calls me every day.
Oh, that's
she called me her best friend.
That's a blessing. I mean, on both ends, though.
Yeah, that's
real.
my baby. That's my baby.
Yeah.
Sure, she probably getting her head done, but she'll cuss me out too. Everybody know.
So what created the evolution? How did you transform from survival mode into where you are now? Because in survival mode, you're just existing, of course, right?
I'm glad that everything in my life happened to me because it made me the man that I am. Because it made me want to go out and do things. It made me get focused, at a young age.
Right.
16, 17, 18 years old. I think I had my daughter at like around about, I don't know how old I was, probably like 18, 19. My daughter, 28 years old.
Really?
Yeah. My daughter's, Bria.
She's grown.
Bria Janae, grown. Get on my nerves. To this day, not my son.
So do you think she was the pinnacle?
That's the only girl I got.
But do you think she was the pinnacle?
Yes, it made me realize, like, you know what? You can't die.
Yeah.
When you in that game, you just like, man, look, I'm just worried about me. Yeah. Whatever happened. Then you start realizing, like, I can't die.
Yeah.
What my daughter gonna do? So it make you start tightening up. So it was her, Bria Janae.
Shout out to Bria Janae.
Yeah, that's my baby.
For being that pinnacle, that pivot point,
Yeah, she is something else.
And that says a lot because everybody doesn't pivot just because they have a person,
You're right. And then after that they all start just coming in.
They all showed up on the scene, huh?
All the kids start coming. I was like, all right. But by that time I was a little bit older and I was a little bit more established and I had things in place, at that time. But she was the first one. She caught it the worst because I was still in the streets when she was born.
What was your first thought when you found out you were going to be a dad?
Man, I was like, nah, this can't be real. Like, I can't be nobody's dad. I don't know what to do.
Right.
My mother said, you better figure it out because I ain't taking care of it.
Little boy.
Yeah, little boy. That's what I said, little boy, I'm not taking care of it. You better figure it out. And I was just like, okay. And, when I seen her come out and I held her, it was like, yeah, this is mine. I gotta do right.
So how does Bria and the rest of the crew affect how you do music or how you operate in music?
I don't think my kids I don't think they listen to my music. They don't really come out like, she's old enough to come out.
Yeah.
She says she's going to, but she doesn't come out. She doesn't come out. Like, I kind of like just do whatever. They grown.
You're like, they can hear whatever.
They grown. Like, I'm not gonna talk about killing nobody or nothing like that.
Right. I was about to say,
I got sons.
Yeah,
I got sons. So like now, okay, that's what you do.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
So
you are aware that you're an example.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I don't just. I talked to my son, my oldest son. He's in Ohio. Him and his girlfriend, they're about to get married. That's what my granddaughter's with. And me and him talk. We talk a lot. And he was just telling me about things. And he always tell me, like, every time he get off the phone, he tell me, I love you. And I thought that was so strange. Like, we don't come from a household that say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
now I say it back.
Yeah.
He used to always like, Dad, I love you. Like, okay.
Now if he got off the phone and didn't say
I'll be like, like what?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. So but I tell people in my band the same thing. We tell each other we love each other.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's too frequent, or it's not as common as it should be, especially in the Black community. I feel like when you love something, even something about somebody, I feel like you should be very open and willing to share that with them. Because how do you know that's not their insecurity? Or how do you know that they don't need to hear that? You never know when that one little kind gesture that you extend could make the world a difference in somebody else's life.
Yeah, because my band members get on my nerves, but I love every last one of them.
That's awesome.
I love every last. All of them make me laugh, and they just like if you ever around us out off the stage, your stomach will hurt because they are stupid.
Well, I like seeing you all support. So even when I came to Justice J's album release, right? I like that I looked up and everybody was there, and everybody was there in full effect and supporting and participating. Nobody looked like, oh, that's like our little sister. We gonna be there. Yeah, I love that. We couldn't get to the Bobby Valentino thing because we had a show, but most of the time when Justice does something, we're there. Or if any of them got something going on, we're gonna support it. Like we all got each other. Yeah, definitely. Now, before we go on, let me take a moment to give another shout out to who? Our sponsors. That's right. It's the Celebrity Fiesta. The Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. But you want to go to celebrityfiesta.com for further details so that you can go ahead and reserve your space. Let's show a quick little recap of the events. Hopefully my video won't stick like it did a second ago, but let's give it a shot. Again, that is the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. Go to celebrityfiesta.com for further information. We also, if you're not trying to fly or you're scared of flying for whatever reason, we have a charter bus going down. And if you go on the charter bus, it's quite a ride, but there is free food and drinks as long as they last, apparently. And it should be a great time, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be a party on a bus. Party on a bus.
Yeah, we did that.
You did?
Our first time going to Miami when Rayo took us down and we took a bus down there.
How was that? How was the experience?
Wow, this bus ride. I think it took us like 17, 18 hours to get down there.
Oh, because you had to stop?
Yeah, but it was out of control. Everybody on that bus was out of control.
See? So, if nothing else, you'll have an experience. Isn't that right?
You'll have something to talk about
forever. A story to tell.
If you with the right people.
I'm sure you'll be with the right people. It was us
and TCB on there.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was out of control.
That's a group. That's two groups to have, definitely.
Yeah, it was out of control.
So make sure you all check out the celebrityfiesta.com if you have not. If you've missed the trip, if you've never been able to go on it, you definitely don't want to miss out. It's a great experience to put in the books. And it's a great time to be had. Memorial Day weekend 2025.
That's going to be good.
Now, back to BJ. If you all haven't joined us, didn't catch us for the first half, I am talking to the Krank train conductor himself. That's right. The leader of MAB 2.0, who was the leader of Mental Attraction Band, who was the leader of, or the manager rather, of Child's Play, which you never heard before. But they practiced.
Yeah,
okay? They practiced. So, BJ, tell me, okay, we've talked about your evolution. We've talked about how you got into go-go. Who is the first person you remember exposing to go-go music? And what did you play for them? Who did you play for them?
Man, the first? Oh, no. That's I don't know.
No idea? So if it was today and you would play MAB. Okay, if it was today and you couldn't play MAB for them, right?
Okay.
And it was a new person. They're not from here. They've never heard go-go ever. They don't have the radio.
Right.
Okay. They've never heard the blunt or nothing. Who would you play?
Junkyard.
What song? Do you know?
Rough It Off.
I think that's a good choice. I feel like that's a good, solid choice.
Yeah.
That kind of covers a lot of the feel, the vibe, the environment.
Junkyard, my favorite band.
I think they do. Yeah, they do justice. Like Shout out to Junkyard, definitely. If you haven't seen my behind the scenes from the concert series with Junkyard, please visit my YouTube channel, Lavish Conversations, and check it out. It was really great.
Yeah.
I had a great opportunity with them. I love Junkyard too, by the way. That's another family band.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of the band, the jury's still out. But all the bands that I've been around, you know, all of you all do operate very family-like. I can give that to you all. I can give that to Obsession. Yeah. I can give that to Junkyard, definitely. Yeah. Like
that's the only way I can really do it, because that's how I started.
Yeah.
I started, and you know, once upon a time, you know, everybody in my band was from Sea Pleasant. So we saw each other every single day when we was young. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of songs we made up beating on the cars and stuff like that. I was like, we gonna hit this.
Do you think that's what kind of changed it too? Why there's a lack of the new songs? Like people, you know, when just being from the music industry, I'm not used to a lot of covers for real. You know, covers are great, okay, but
it's a cheat code.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cheating for real. But you know,
do y'all just like have? Don't laugh when I say this, because I know it sounds old, but I don't know a younger way to say it. Do y'all just have like jam sessions and stuff?
Yeah. We rehearsed tonight, and we kind of like coming in, try to throw our ideas together. But that's what most of these bands don't practice.
Well, I also like, and I think, they don't? Wait, hold on. Rewind. Are you serious?
Yeah, they don't.
How often do you all practice?
We practice every week.
Yeah, I feel like
once a week.
I feel like that should be standard, right?
It should be, but that's kind of like the disconnect. And that's why it's more easy.
Maybe that's why they're all out here also in it.
Yeah, that's why. They should be doing that. And it's so easy to say, "Hey, look, I can tell Amber. Yeah, that's my baby. Amber support. Like, and it's easy to just say, "Hey, y'all learn this song, and we don't even gotta practice it. We'll do it on the stage."
That's a good point.
That's why the covers is so easy, because it's just you imitating music. That you all. Then when you really want to be creative, you got to go in that studio. You got to really create in there. Yeah, it's easy for me to be like, here, learn this, learn the Temptations, learn James Brown, learn this song, learn that. All right, boom. We ain't gonna even practice it. We'll do it on the stage.
Right.
So bands don't really practice, but you know it works for some bands.
But that's crazy work, though.
It is, but some people say that they don't have the time to practice.
But see, here's the kicker, right? When you don't take the time for that, it does show in the end, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Ultimately. Not just in the product of your cover, but in the fact that you have now no original. Nothing. And if you have nothing original, how do you make money off of it other than live shows?
There's probably some bands that's creative enough to make an original on that stage, but I doubt it.
If Erykah Badu could do it.
Yeah, Erykah Badu, yeah. But it's just her, though.
That's true.
She can just make up a song. I mean, Justice could do that. That's true. She could just make up a song.
I was going to say, you all kind of have a little extra bonus, though, because Justice wrote a whole album of original music.
She writes.
She raps too. She raps too.
And WB raps and sing. Yeah, she raps. Oh, yeah. See, you got to come out. We do a little bit of everything.
Did I know she?
Yeah, they even got me singing.
Really, BJ?
Unfortunately, yes.
Wait, no, I have heard you sing. You sing on beat. You sing on what you call it? Yeah. On Can You Feel It?
Yeah, I sing on that. Yeah. And I'm starting to sing like songs too, because I don't know. That's just what go-go wants.
See, you gotta stretch out of that comfort zone, get out of that box.
I gotta do what they ask.
I just want to read here what Amber said, because that's very true. She said, BJ and all the members of MAB are amazing people, and she's very pleased to be a part of the family.
Oh, we're so glad you're here too, babe. I swear. Man, they was out Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
All of them, everybody that's commenting was out Fort Lauderdale. They came out. I call them the Krank Train family, man. I don't care where we at, they're there.
That's what's up.
Like, we'll play one place and leave from that place and go to the other place, and they there. Like, how the hell, yeah, they there. They are there.
Well, that's awesome support,
man. And that's and I love them so much. But you know,
so what do you do for fan appreciation? Because
we do on Fridays at Medusa Lounge. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Bree. Hustle Hard Entertainment. Yeah. Like she really got us out the mud for real, because you know she took us out VA. Mm-hmm. She's a Virginia promoter, female. Yes,
I didn't know that.
I know a lot of people didn't know that. Virginia. Yeah.
And no, I didn't.
Right, and that's what she started promoting us at. But now, you know, her and I doing a lot of different shows. Mm-hmm. You know, like the show that Saturday with us and What Band at Restaurant 55. Mm-hmm. We got a whole lot of things that we collaborate.
I so wanted to go to that. I could not make it. My daughter is in town. Another shout out to Bello for 20 Bello man for his birthday. Happy birthday again, Bello.
I got his shirt in here. I got to take a picture with his shirt. He gave me a shirt, and but Bello, that's my man. They all just come out and support. And that's the main thing. That's what Go-Go is missing.
Well, I heard y'all killed it this weekend.
Yes.
I really did.
And we played 4 times.
This weekend?
This weekend just passed, yeah. Yeah, we played 4 times.
Playing.
Tired.
Yeah, y'all were.
And then we played 3 times this weekend.
Okay, well, y'all getting it in. So I guess that's how you still can make money. But I'm saying if you utilize all these original tracks that you have, you and all these other bands, you're still making money while you're sleeping.
Yeah, right.
And you reach your reach expands so much more significantly, because places that you can't go, you don't have time to go,
right?
Or nobody invited you to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your music is still there.
It's still there, and you know that's one of the things that I try to. But you know, the hardest thing in Go-Go.
Shout out to Dirk.
That's my man. Dirk knew he's definitely a part of the Krank train. He was there. He was at Restaurant 55. You know, a lot of these dudes I'm just meeting, but they've been around, but they good people, man. Like, they gonna tell you when you're not on point.
Right.
And they gonna tell you when you is. And that's what,
important.
All them women that's around us, we got a lot of women around us because women tell the truth.
That is true. We love to give an opinion.
Man, you can't have your friend. A woman gonna tell you. Yeah. That ain't it.
No, hold up. A real friend.
Yeah.
If a woman, women that don't like other women.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
They'll be like, oh, yeah, girl,
you killing
wear
it.
that.
Yeah.
The fact that you have tissue coming from your butt makes it look even better. You know what I mean?
Right.
But real women, real friends, yes, they, especially from the DMV, they're going to be like, oh no, I went to see a friend of mine earlier, right? And I'm like, girl, I needed some lip moisturizer. She said, yeah, I was wondering why your lips was ashy when I saw you. Like I was about to call you and text you and ask what was wrong.
Yeah.
If you, just got off a bender or something. And that's the DMV for you. We are not playing about that at all. Right. Like we're gonna keep we're gonna straighten.
Yeah, and that's why I try to keep my circle with. I mean, my guys is my guys. Like I need them. Yeah. They the muscle. They gonna rock with me.
Right.
But them women, they gonna keep us in order. They gonna be like, hey, BJ, ain't y'all supposed to be on stage at this time? Mm-hmm. What y'all doing? Come on. Y'all like what? They made sure everybody getting on the plane. Yeah. When we went to Fort Lauderdale, like the women is incredible here.
Yeah.
Did y'all eat? Because they know we be just doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
They just still like, that mother vibe. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of bands got to have that, around like women.
You should.
Real. You should. Because it means a lot.
That nurturing spirit, definitely, that makes a difference, right?
Yeah, man, it does. Absolutely.
So what would you say out of your career so far has been the biggest highlight? What was the moment that you looked up and you were like, I'm doing what I love. This is it. Right
I have a few times that I was like playing in different places. I've never been in like Howard Theater, Tacoma Station. Mm-hmm. It's the little things, because it's like a lot of bands can't say they played in those spots.
Right.
I can.
Yeah.
I had a lot of highlights. It's a lot, like a lot of things that just made me feel like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna keep going, because that's the main thing that I try to tell everybody. Because people always like, well, how do you just keep going?
Right. Tenacity is no joke.
When you got people around you that loves what you're doing, it don't gotta be a million.
Right.
You know, it could be 50.
Mm-hmm.
They like what you're doing, man. It's motivation for you to keep doing it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree. I agree.
Just you started with them because they're gonna tell other people.
Right.
Like I'm telling you, man. Then it's up to the band.
Right.
People come, you gotta be on point. Like it's everybody's not always on point though. Like you know what I mean. It's you're just trying to be consistent in what you're doing, and that's gonna get you really far.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people like I started doing my own shows back before bands was even heard of doing their own shows.
Yeah, that's no joke.
I was doing that before it was
that's
fashionable.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but like I said, I had a little bit of money, so it was a little different. So I was just like, man, so a lot of times, a lot of people say they don't know about my band because a lot of times we did a lot of shows on our own.
Hence the press tour.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Yeah. That's a lot of people was like, I never heard of y'all. I was like, we've been out a very long time. We done filled up a lot of places.
So tell me, with regard to how you all press forward and how you do stay relevant and make sure that your name is on the tips of everybody's tongue, what do you do, innovatively speaking, for your marketing to make sure that you are pushing yourself?
We just started really upgrading our marketing. Like we got a website now,
which is at the bottom. Yeah. At the moment, if you all would like to check it out.
Right, we got a website now. We make shirts. We got jackets. Like we sell merchandise. We make sure that things is in your site, like mental attraction band. Like what is that?
Right.
Sometimes I'll just make flyers that just say mental attraction band. People be like, what is that? In the website. And they check it out. Or they're going to Google it. And they're going to be like, oh, this is a band. Oh, I like them. It's just, doing little different things because I try to tell all my go-go people, like, go-go will throw you away quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Yeah. And a lot of people think like, oh, I can just come back when I feel like it. No.
So I was talking to somebody, right? And I was talking about the fact that, in the go-go industry, we tend to, we're event hosts or party promoters. We have parties, right?
Right.
We don't necessarily have product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Jill Scott, I might have never seen her live. I don't have to go even try, right? So what do you think is the difference, or what's keeping us, that one line that's keeping us between shifting from just being go-go music to being the go-go music business?
Well, I talk to a lot of guys, older guys,
right?
Charlie Fenwick, a lot of guys that when some of the go-go pioneers, and they always ask me like, BJ, why don't y'all guys do this? Or why don't y'all do that? And I'll be like, I didn't know anything about that. Like, what you mean you ain't know about it? Like, you ain't know this person? You don't know Mike Scott? You don't know Becky at Liaison? You don't know these people? Like, nah, who was that? Like, man, are you serious? Keep in mind, Charlie, like 80-something years old, but he like, these are people that y'all supposed to know.
Right.
Like, Charlie, they don't teach us those things in go-go. People don't tell you which way you should go. You see what these guys do. They get on here and tell you stupid. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. I don't want to be one of them guys. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. It's not that you're stupid. It's just that you don't know.
It's ignorant.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Nobody ain't telling nobody about things they need to do.
Do you think that a lot of us are gatekeeping, or a lot of people are gatekeepers in this area?
I mean, I know like they say the gatekeeping thing, and I can feel that. I can feel that for some people that really don't have the resources, but like you said, like I'm plugged all the way in. Like my resources is like I can probably play anywhere I want to.
Right.
So but I feel for the other guys that haven't been doing this as long as me. That's like, damn, I want to play in the Aqua.
Right.
I want to play in this place. I want to play there. How y'all? I mean, I have guys inbox me all the time. I was like, BJ, how did you get in this place?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody that's listening, relationships goes a long way in this business. It's going to reach farther than you could ever crank, play, anything. Only reason why I'm still here is because I created relationships with people through the years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they'll always think about me when something comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all you got to do. Just always remember and always do what you say you're going to do. Because your word means everything.
Yeah.
Don't say you're going to do so. I tell my band that all the time. If I tell my band, look, this what y'all getting, and this show don't work out like that, I go in my pocket. They don't never see it's bad on that.
Right.
Because that's not their thing.
Right. They shouldn't have to.
It's not for them to see.
Right.
Y'all got y'all money, y'all good. I might go home and cry.
Hopefully you got some
like, like, she crazy, man. I don't believe I just spent $2,000.
What's the plan?
Right. God damn, this shit is... All right, okay. But then I'm okay, but it's for the better
that's
good.
Important, though.
Now you gotta make sure you lead talkers gotta realize you're only as good as the team you play on, and I put that on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're just a voice.
Yeah.
Them band members can play everything that you do without you being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They on repeat. They know what to do. Your drummer, your conga player, your keyboards. So man, you gotta always embrace them.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta love them because.
Well, especially because if you really look at it, if you look at all the people in go-go music, I don't know how many people. If you have not been watching my show, go back and watch the replays. There are so many talented people, and when I say talented, I don't mean talented like, oh, I can hit a bomb socket beat.
Yeah.
I mean, I play socket for this person. I play for Snoop. I play for Letter C. I play for this person. Like most of our musicians are in mainstream music as well. They are. Like same time. Yep. You know what I mean? Which to me shows the credence or the level of go-go because you can't tell me these A-list celebrities or these people are playing for these A-list celebrities and then turning around and playing just because they really like go-go
you know
music.
I'll be asking my band members like, did y'all go to school? Like, what did y'all do? Nah, I just picked up the guitar and started playing it. What?
Well,
I don't know how they do that.
I had Rocksteady up here 2 weeks ago, and when he was 10 years old, he went to the music store with his mother, and they had a drum set in the middle of the floor, and he went and started playing on the drum set, and an A&R person from Motown was in the store. See? That's how he started playing. That was his first time touching
I don't know. It's something special about DC. I don't know what it is, but these people pay to go to school to learn how to play drums and keyboards and vocal coaches and it's something natural. It's something here. I don't know what it is.
It's in the water.
Man, what? It's just natural. I'll be asking my band members like, what? Yeah.
It's the Anacostia.
You drink that water.
The remnants of the as they evaporate, right? We all breathing in the Anacostia. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Something like
Conspiracy theories by MEKA. But shout out to Kim. Kim said, hey, BJ. Kim Ford.
Oh, Kim is always. Kim, that's another one. They all did. All the Krank family, man.
And William Lansdowne. Why your name sound like that? All
Lansdowne.
Like William Lansdowne.
He said what I just said it. It sounds nice.
Right? I'm just saying you can do big things if you're not already. So I mean, seriously though, it's something about the area. Even Smiles. I had Smiles up here from the keyboardist for Black Alley. And I asked him what his first major, gig that he got was. This man was playing with Kenny G.
See?
And I'm just like, know what I mean? The level that we're listening to.
The musicians is different. I tell them all the time. They different. And I don't know how they knew how to play and do this. And everybody in my band, they didn't go to school. They didn't go to Duke Ellington and none of that. I'm like, man, how y'all just... we just started playing.
Very, very talented.
That's it. And it's just weird.
Now, so what would be your dream gig for MAB 2.0? If you all could play anywhere in the world, any audience. Africa? What part?
I don't know.
That's a big old continent.
I know.
Y'all want to do an African tour?
I just want to...
South or north? Like, which part of Africa? Somewhere.
I just want to do something. I want to leave the state. The United States. I want to...
I think that's what y'all should be aiming toward.
Yeah, I would like to go do something different. But for the small things, I would like to get over there and on the West Coast, like T.O.B. and a lot of them did. I'll start off with that because we never been to
Shout
the West
out to
Coast.
Butchie. Butchie said we have some very talented people in the DMV. That's no doubt. Definitely.
Yeah, we do.
There's a Facebook group actually. DMV's Got Talent or something like that. Check it out if you have not already. Ben calls me cowboy.
yeah. He got to be a cowboy fan.
Oh, wait a second. So Bushy said y'all are going to Ghana.
Let's go. I'm ready.
So MAB 2.0 in Ghana. From Bushy's mouth to God's ears. Y'all all heard it, right? Everybody heard it?
I want to do something, man. It's just,
it's up there
I really
on the
enjoy.
I know. Y'all gotta go now.
We gotta go. We gotta go. And like a lot of people don't know. Like a lot of, that's why they call me the animal trainer.
Why do they call you the animal trainer? Please tell us. I want to know that.
so many people I've trained and they're in bigger bands now. Mm-hmm. They started with me.
Okay.
Like, my original Mental Attraction band, all of them playing somewhere. Vibe, right. Belladonna, TCB, man, Wale.
Really?
Yeah. Like they all over the place.
So you really might be the trainer.
Yeah, they gave me that name. I was like, what does that mean? They was like, cause you train them and then you send them out. I was like, oh.
See?
That's what they say.
I mean, but that says something also, right? Because the experience is not. It's not.
Yeah, I mean,
false.
You're right. I just like people that like to work. That's why I took a liking to Justice because she don't mind working.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind like, all right, just give it to me.
Yeah.
We gonna get it done. I like people like that. I don't like people that I come back to them and they like, oh, I forgot, or I ain't get it. See, that
I didn't get a chance.
Oh, okay, I never give you the ball again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
You done messed that up because I try to always try to give people something different when they come see Mental Attraction. I try to give you something different, or every time you come see us, it's going to be something added to our show.
I love that.
And Uncle Schooner, he always like, I don't never know what I'm going to get when I come see them because the song that I liked last week, they ain't going to hit that this week.
See,
but we're going to hit it again.
It's coming.
It's coming. But I keep them all in my log. But I always try to give people something different because nobody wants to go to the same show.
Right.
Over and over.
That's very true. And if I'm going to support you, yes, I do want to hear my favorites.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? You put out a CD, you be like, what CD? Where this from?
Yeah.
That sound like the CD from last year. Like it's the same song.
Right, same
order, everything.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, damn, So I because I'm also a fan.
Right.
So I try to get my band to do things that I would want another band to do.
Yeah.
Like when it's time to start playing, start playing.
Yeah.
I don't like for people to just be lingering around like, what time.
Say that.
Yeah. So like, I try to put myself.
One of the things I hate most about our genre about go-go is the fact that when you go to a show one time, I do not like being present for your sound check.
Yes.
See, I like real concerts,
right.
I feel like your sound check's supposed to happen before the show.
You're right.
Preferably the day before. But if it's gonna be the day of, before they let us in the venue, so it's a little vexing when you are standing there and they're like, check one, check one.
And you know what?
Like that's horrible.
Butchie used to always be like, man, we got to be there at this time to sound check. People don't realize that. I think that people got to start taking go-go a little more serious. I think if we did, it will go.
That's it right
there. If we took it more serious and looked at it like
serious.
People will respect it a lot more because now you just going in there, you lingering in that joint. You don't even care what you got on, how you look. You get on stage, 1, 2, 2, 2. Give me a drink. All right, and everybody like, man, you go to a live concert and ain't like that.
Can I tell you, I'm just as offended when I'm at the go-go and they don't know the lyrics to the song as I am when I'm
so that goes to show y'all, man, like we can't keep half-stepping.
Like, I know most of the songs I like. So if I'm singing the song and you don't have the
hold
words
up, that's
right,
not it. That's not the words to this song.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no names, but you should not be that drunk that you don't know the lyrics to the song that everybody heard on the radio for the last how many years.
Yeah, see, those are the little things that we gotta tighten up on because we don't do that.
Yeah,
you know, we gotta make sure that when you go see a band, it's supposed to be an experience.
Yeah, I want to see
You're
a
supposed
show.
to be able to go home and be like, girl, man.
Let me tell you, the first time I saw you all, Justice was standing up on top of the speaker, right?
Yeah.
And she was like this on top of what was she singing? Bow down.
Oh, bitches.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I really like her. Look at her stage presence. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I saw a show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel like that's how you should always feel.
And
like,
I was just telling people that about it's not just about being able to vocally sing. Yeah. You're still an entertainer.
You better say that.
You just can't get up there and just be like, and shout out Cruz, man. You gotta move around. You gotta do some things. Like, people gonna gravitate. You ever see somebody dancing and you be like, shit, make me want to dance.
Yes.
Like, they partying, like what they listening. That's the same experience.
Larry, you know Larry, where did I see him? I don't know, but everywhere I see him, he's doing the hee-haw, and he's like flinging sweat everywhere. He's hee-hawing, and you be like,
it just make you be like, hold on.
I want to party like
that.
Partying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what go-go's used to be.
That's exactly what they used to be.
They used to be like that, man. Girls are coming in. Now, I don't like I know everybody want to look nice because, everybody want to look at women.
I don't feel like everybody comes in looking nice enough. They don't. Like I came here to look nice, though.
They just want to be cool.
Yeah.
I think that, we got to get back to having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it.
Yeah.
Like, and I tell people all the time, I know that people going to always critique bands when they go see them.
Definitely.
But still, just come and enjoy whatever they bringing. You might don't.
Maybe join in the vibe.
Yeah.
So, okay, I watched this study, in case you all don't know it, I'm low-key a nerd. But I watched this study, right, about how, when you meet somebody and people are like, oh, I didn't like his vibe, or I didn't like her vibe. Uh-huh. You realize that's actually the vibration, right? So you're vibrating at your own vibration, right? When you meet somebody else, they're vibrating at their own vibration. So if your vibrations don't match, that's why sometimes you meet people and they turn you off, or you don't know why. You just like, I don't know what it is, but I don't like her. Or I don't like them. It's their vibe,
They vibe.
So when you come to a show, I feel like just like when you go to a concert of anybody else's, everybody tries to be on that same vibration.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always such a great show, So
it starts.
I
tell people all the time.
It starts with
the way how the night goes. It starts with when you come that door lady, that door person.
Yeah.
Your night starts right there.
Yeah.
If you have a hard time at that door,
your face frowned up for the rest of the night.
Man, you ain't gonna enjoy yourself. You don't care what the band does.
That's true.
I don't need this. Did this to me.
It's at least
I just went through too much to get in here. Like I try to tell all my dope people, and that's one of the things me and Bree always talk about. Those are the first people you meet.
That's so true.
And when you get into that establishment, so be kind, be nice.
Yeah.
Because it dictates how the rest of the night.
I've heard somebody talking about a nasty door person days later.
Yeah.
After the event.
Yeah. Like, they remember that. Yeah. Because that was their first
experience.
When they came, they was like, "Oh, I ain't doing that no more." That door lady was just this and that, and she was talking to me any kind of way. They done forgot what they there for the band.
That's a very good point, and I don't think a lot of people are even think about that.
We all gotta do better. Yeah. Like we all gotta start. We all work together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A go-go is supposed to be an experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be an experience from the beginning to end.
Yeah,
you gotta enjoy yourself. It gotta be like, oh man, I gotta come back.
Yeah, when those lights come on at the end, you're supposed to be like, oh
yeah, man. What?
Man. Go home now.
Yeah, you're right, like that. But I think that go-go has really lost that somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere we just forgot about the people.
Yeah.
We forgot about making sure that they having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
When I get off stage, a lot of them don't even. I go to shows early just so I can talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, who birthday? How y'all ladies doing? What's y'all names?
That's what you should be doing.
Yeah,
that's good customer service
That's how we do that.
Yeah.
We'll go around and the front line, we'll meet people and talk to them. that's how we make friends. And people like, they was cool.
Yeah.
They just didn't come in there and hop on stage
like
and got off stage and left. They didn't even speak to us.
We were their loyal subjects.
Exactly.
As opposed to...
They didn't even say nothing to us. Like, that was weird. Like, they didn't even speak.
Right.
But they want us to pay $20 to come see them play. That's weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to always tell my band members, like, it's an experience. And you know what I'm saying? Always try to look nice. You know, don't come in here because it's women in here.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I know some of my guys married, but still.
You still need to look nice?
Yes, always.
Please.
Always.
I don't care who you're going home with.
Right.
But if I got to look at you.
Yeah, right. That's what I say. And people are like, well, I'm in the back. They ain't looking at me. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're looking at everybody that walk in there like.
Whole time, if you're in the back, I'm probably recording you.
And there you go.
Not just
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, oh, wow.
And I tell people that, I say, everybody's recording. So you got to always, but it's a lot of things that, and I'm not going to just say us, all go-go bands has lost through the years. Yeah. It's a disservice that we're doing.
I agree.
And once we get back to customer service.
That whole coming early though, like talking to people, like, and finding out what's going on, not just jumping on stage.
There you go. I tell my band members all the time, you will never get penalized for being early.
How about that?
It's not a such thing as you're too early.
Yeah.
But when you're late, is you're gonna hear y'all late.
And everybody notices also. So if I know that you're always late for your shows and then I'm supposed to be coming to see you, I swear I'll take a nap.
Yep. Every Sunday.
And I miss most
every Sunday at Martini's is free.
Oh, really?
And they have soul food like pork chops and candy.
Every Sunday at Martini's at what time?
From 7 to 11. I go there and eat dinner. Everybody comes in there and we sit down before we get on stage. We all sit down and orders lamb chops and they got pastas. They got everything. It's only on Sundays. It's only on Sundays that they do this. It's Soul Food Sundays.
I wish I could explain to y'all how fat I'm. For real, I feel like I just ate like a plate.
We grubs and then and before we get on, and that's you get to meet people. Like, anybody said no. I'm always the first one in there. I'm going through my notes, getting the show together. Look, y'all can come talk to me. Come talk to me, because you got to establish a friendship before it's anything else.
Do any of your kids listen to go-go by choice? I mean, if it wasn't your music, would they be listening to it? Rap is their choice?
Everybody listen to rap.
At least it's not Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
My kids love Billie Eilish. Oh my God!
Yeah, they don't. I mean,
Nina Simone too, but Billie Eilish though.
But yeah, I've heard them play my music before and tell their friends like, this my dad, or something like that. Like, I've heard them do that, but I don't know if they just listen to it just like on the regular. They don't live with me, but when they do
free
come,
time.
when they do come on my house, that's all they listening to.
Oh,
is
really?
My
But wait,
they can't listen
that's
to
what you
them.
have playing.
Yes. It's on every TV on YouTube. Pick one. Go sit down and listen to it.
Go sit down and study.
Go listen to it. They just leave it on. So, but yeah, they dancing and they like it. But for some reason, go-go, that used to be the thing when I was young. I wanted to be in the go-go band.
Yeah. So I was about to say, I feel like we've broken we
lost our way somewhere.
The way that we used to pour it into the community. So I remember talking to Super Dan about how did I get into go-go, right? Right. I didn't. I lived in the DMV. What do you mean? Yep. How can you not? How did you not end up at the go-go? How did you not? You know what I mean?
It's a lot of people here.
Summer works. You know what I mean? It's part of it.
It's right. It's a lot of people here that said they never been to a go-go.
Yeah. And
I was like, you live here?
Especially now that we have the COVID babies and everything.
You live here? You've never been to a go-go?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to experience
it. So
it.
you also realize the negative connotations that are with the go-go, right?
Man, yeah.
So people are still thinking about the go-go from back in the day.
Killing.
Yeah, and shooting and things like that. Yeah. Whereas, honestly speaking, I'm not going to say who. Everybody knows who I'm talking about, though, when I say this. There was a fight, right, within the last couple of years, right? But everybody was like, they were fighting we old as I don't know what. Right. And everybody said it was just a quick push, shove, grab thing, and that was the end of that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It was women at that. That's a whole, For us, we are old now, y'all. Okay, we are not out here trying to fight.
Man,
we are, girl. You good?
You gonna have to soak with some Epsom salt the next day. Your body be hurt.
You gonna need a follow up
Fight
with your primary care. Follow up with your primary care
Man, what? You be like, I can't, man. I ain't fighting no more. That's it.
Yeah, but so I've been trying to like bring my kids out more so that they can see the go-go. You know what I mean, and enjoy the environment and the party.
We got to get them back involved, and then we had go-go in schools and stuff like that. Yeah, all of that stuff has gone away.
Right, but I am pleased to see that it's now like in the Capitol Center with the concert. Yeah. I like that they had it, at the Commanders game, the Redskins.
I've been trying to get on that forever.
On the Redskins games, you got to get on there. But I also look into this also because I want to know why there's not go-go music in the airport. And I don't have time to take on the visual concern, but I feel like you should not be able to come to DC, right? Maybe Virginia or both. You should be able to come to Maryland or Virginia. But if you fly into DC, you should have to hear. You should hear something, whether it's over the radio, the loudspeaker, something.
You know what?
Like when you go to.
That's a good thing.
Like when you.
Why don't play it everywhere in the grocery stores and all these places when we shopping?
We don't hear go-go. But at minimum, the airport. When you go to New Orleans, you think you're in a Popeyes commercial. When you go to Nashville, you're going to hear country music.
They be jamming everywhere in New Orleans.
Yeah, the second line. You're going to hear second line music in New Orleans, definitely.
I ain't been to New Orleans. I'm going though.
You haven't? Oh, you have to go. It's a great time to be had.
I'm gonna go down there.
I gotta go with everybody. Before.
Yeah, we gonna do something. I'm gonna take my band somewhere.
Really?
Soon, yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
They be playing a lot. We gonna take a little break and just woosah.
So now, what advice would you give to somebody who may be interested or an up and coming band that hasn't quite, been seen or gotten out there? How do they get started? What should they do?
It was way more easier when I was coming up because go-go was the thing.
Right.
If you played in a band, you was really cool. And everybody in your neighborhood wanted to be around you. They wanted to support you. So it's a lot more easier though now because you could just release music.
True.
And you could get it popping like that. See, we didn't know about those things.
But do you think the average person that's thinking I want to be in go-go is trying to release music, or I think they're probably trying to perform?
They want to play.
Yeah.
If they into that, they want to play. But I hope so many bands.
But so what should I do if I want to be a lead mic? I just decided right now. I feel it.
Oh, you'll be on some shows.
And also, I can't forget about my little brother Jerome.
Yeah. See, there you go. You already got it.
I'm in my ex-husband.
You can't say that this way. But you can say that. Yeah, but see, you got it right there.
Okay, so I want to be a lead mic. I just decided. All right, now I want a band. I decided I want a band.
Get you some people.
Yeah,
that share your vision. That's the most important thing.
Get some people that share your vision.
That share your vision. And then I tell my band all the time, like, I think it, y'all make it reality.
I like that.
Because if I think something like this is how I hear it, they make it reality to me.
Yeah.
This how you want us to play? Like that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So they make it reality. So you gotta have people that share your vision and ain't scared to try some things with you.
Now, ideally, would I grab friends or would I look for people who are already professionals?
See, when I started, the professionals are going to be a little bit more complicated because it's a money thing with them.
Yes.
Your friends are going to be there until they're not going to be there because friends are different. So that's something that you just got to choose wisely. But me, personally, I'm going to go with my friends because coming out the gate, you're not going to be making hardly nothing.
Right.
You're not going to be making nothing unless you just a real hot commodity and people just going to gravitate to you. Then you might get something going. But coming out the gate, you're going to take some L's.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're going to take a lot.
That, and it's probably better, right, to be, if you're with friends, doesn't it make it more enjoyable?
When you're with friends, yes, because you can talk to them openly.
Yeah.
You can be like, man, this ain't, no, I don't want this. Professionals, you be like, you try to talk to them a little different.
Right. Would you mind?
Yeah, would you mind? Like, I ain't trying to be nice. I need this done. You know what I'm saying? Like this. So,
That's true.
friends are going to always be like, they're going to be a little bit more relatable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to be, so, but once everybody in my band will probably tell you, like, I'm an asshole because.
Are you blunt like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know what they can do, and sometimes they don't realize they can do it until I be like, man, what you doing, man? Tighten up. That's not how you play.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You don't be like that. Stop bullshitting.
So you hold them to a certain standard of their own ability.
Because I know because it's me.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for so long. People just can't wait to say, see, I told you. They don't crank like everybody say they do. and look at them. Look. So I'm always trying to cross my T's and down my I's because I know they watching me. Oh, BJ been doing this shit for 80 years.
Right.
Why his band sound like this? So now I kind of like threw them in the expectation that they all gotta follow.
That's right.
And I tell them all the time, like, y'all know this ain't about y'all. Y'all just living on something that I already started years and years ago. So the expectation from y'all is different from being in another band.
Oh, yeah.
It's different because they like, oh, BJ know better.
Why do you think that people are so hard on you or so hard on your band?
Because
hold up, before you answer. Bushy said to start a go-go band now, you need to be young and hungry.
Yeah.
You think young is integral too? Bushy, could I be 60 and start a band right now or not?
What y'all gonna play?
Let me know in the chat. We can hit the oldies with the goodies.
Y'all definitely gonna have to do that. And you know what?
You out here hit the oldies.
And you know what?
And be
you gonna have 160, 70-year-old people dressed up in your show.
And they gonna all be,
What?
It's the line gonna be wrapped around the block.
You'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I should have did that.
Yeah.
It's gonna work.
And we gonna be up there, ooh,
And they gonna be in there dancing, hand dancing and all that.
You better know it.
Man, it's gonna work.
I'm saying, I think that might be an idea. But Bushy said nope.
See, the thing is with the youngins, like, it's hard to get youngins all of them want to
stay dedicated.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard because
I hate to say it, but I feel like everybody, all the new children coming out, the new models have this new touch of ADD.
Yes.
And they can't focus to save their little souls. I don't know why.
They're not gonna even come to practice
in the first place. In the first place.
What's up? One time my kids, hey y'all, we're gonna start a band. Y'all come to band practice.
Even if it's on Zoom. They're still not going to show up
band
for
practice. Why we gotta go to band practice? Are they paying us to go there?
Are they paying us? Will there be fans at this practice?
Are they paying us to go to band practice?
That's funny.
I'm not going there.
That's the truth. Yeah, that wouldn't even surprise me.
Yeah, they not going to do it. I mean, I think
so. Maybe that's where we're lost then.
We lost the youth, and it's no new fans in go-go. It's all we're doing is. Everybody that's in go-go.
Wait, but what about those kids in the Annie Costia play? I thought that was so cute, by the way. Did you hear about that play?
No.
They had the Annie. It was Annie Costia, so it was the black. It was the black go-go version.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that.
Annie, I wanted to go too. They sold out. The tickets sold out.
And they always sell out.
But I think they're gonna do it again. But it was like, this whole little
Dr. Lavelle, that was his show.
I believe so, yeah.
You always do that. That's my man.
But it's a bunch of kids involved in it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's
I hope they bring it back.
Chris's daughter is in there. Chris from TLB, I think his daughter is in
there.
the play.
Yeah, because he always in them. Yeah, that's my man.
For real?
Yeah, me and Chris go way, way back.
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
That's my man. That's my man. But, you know.
Look, that's my little brother who I think is older than me. I just found out. But that's my little brother.
You think he's older than you?
Somebody said that.
Look, he's not older. He's not older than you.
I said, how is he older than 48?
He can't be older than you. He's definitely not.
Chris, can you let us know how old you are?
He like 30.
That's what I said.
32,
I
33.
said he had to be in his 30s.
Yeah, he young. He like my daughter age.
Well, she is not that old yet. We are not going
close to it.
We ain't doing that to Bree.
Close to it, yeah.
No, we ain't doing that to Bree.
We ain't gonna do it to her.
But so, okay. So, all right, with the advising of young people in bands, what do you think we could do to bring more young people into go-go music or pique their interest more?
I think that's why all of us taking the Pocket 3, the little young band that They played at the Howard Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't see youngins playing in bands anymore.
Right.
So that kind of like shocked all of us. And then playing traditional go-go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not just playing bounce beat.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just so.
Mm-hmm.
I think with them, start using them a lot more. Maybe they
Aren't they
could,
Pocket 3?
Yeah, Pocket 3. They could get some the youth a little bit, I guess, because they're young. They're young kids. Yeah. They're young. I think they like teenagers. Mm-hmm. So, but that was rare because that was back in our day. That was the norm.
Right.
It was like 100 bands, 16, 13.
Literally.
Little Chris and them was 13 or 14.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
There was bands everywhere.
Yeah. But I think that we lost our way. We disconnected somewhere where the youth don't even like go-go.
Do you think that has to do with the violence that used to be prevalent in the go-go's? I don't know why everybody tries to avoid
this is what I heard from some young guys.
What'd you hear?
They was like, man, y'all do that. That's for old heads. Man, y'all don't make no money. We gonna rap. We want a Lamborghini and run around with hoodies and masks on when it's 90 degrees outside. I was like, what? Ain't y'all hot? Like, yeah, but that's what they
that is what they want though.
It's what they see.
And it's
like the presentation.
Right.
They feel like, I want to be in a band and I can see y'all. I see y'all in the grocery store.
And not just see y'all, but how many people do we see from go-go that have blown up that are in, driving around in Rolls.
There you go.
And
there you go.
And,
right.
whatever.
And that's
the traditional I made it stuff, So I think that might be a little bit of the backlash of it or the hesitancy to join in it as well,
Right. But I'm
and
always,
y'all work hard as I don't know what.
Man, I'm just trying to. I just need the only thing I just tell people all the time: if you like a band, support them. That's the biggest thing you could do for any go-go band. Because right now, just liking them and saying you like them and downloading their music, it's nothing like having them in your show. Because now you can ask for a little something.
Now that's a question, right?
Okay.
There are bands that we all like. There's been plenty of times. Hold up, he said, June. Shout out to June. June said,
"That's my man."
He said, "There are plenty of new fans. Believe it or not, you're reaching them. So that's a good thing, definitely. That's definitely.
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying, man. I just want to see them out.
Yeah.
That's all. Come on out, support us. Like, we do a lot of things for free. Just come on out and have a good time.
Right. That brings me to what I was going to say. So there are a lot of bands. There's been plenty of days on a Saturday or a Friday, and I'm like, what's going on? Where can I go tonight? Right.
Right.
And we post stuff, but because of the algorithm, you don't know when I'm gonna see your post. I'll see your post 3 days after the event. That's right. But where can we look? Where do you always, other than your specific website, where do you consistently post that we can go check and see? Hey, I wonder what's going on tonight.
You can go to on Facebook. You don't have to go to the website.
Right.
But
you have the
Instagram,
website, which is at the bottom.
Yeah, we have a Mental Attraction Band Facebook, Mental Attraction Band Instagram. We have an X. We have a Snapchat. We have a TikTok.
What's an X? You mean Twitter?
Twitter. That's what I said. What is X? I seen it. I was like, what is that?
I'm too old.
Yeah. I'm like, why is it X? And we also have a TikTok.
Have all platforms.
Everything.
Attraction
everything. Like, and then, and we also have a text blast. Like, if you sign up.
How do you get signed up?
It's on my page. It tell you text MAB to the number, and that's it. Whenever a show come up, it'll text your phone and be like, Mental Attraction playing here. I had it for years. But it's going to take a little money to invest in your product.
Definitely.
Because you want people to know where you are.
I love that, though. I like the text blast.
I see a lot of bands getting them now. It's important.
That's a good thing.
But people got to sign up for it. You can't just make them get it.
Well, so
sign up for it.
Have a QR code at the entry to your show.
That's another thing that
sign up.
Yeah.
They can just go ahead and
that's another thing that I'm going to do because I like to. And when I text one time, it goes to 1,000 people. Everybody get the same text.
Yeah, that's way.
Let's go and everybody get the text.
That's easy work right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
somebody just signed up for it.
Really?
Yep.
All right, y'all. Sign up then. Get the text blast.
Up.
If you want to know where Mental Attraction Band is, Get the text blast.
Yep,
but as you can see at the bottom of the screen right here, you can go to mentalattractionband.com to get any information on upcoming shows, etc. Now, all right. So, I didn't give you we didn't do our Thankful Thursday thought of the day. So every week I do a Thankful Thursday thought of the day. And I believe this week, so people keep asking me, I don't know if you know my story, but so my son passed away 3 years ago. I had twin boys. One of my sons passed away from SIDS as a baby, right? And then 20 years later, thank you, the other one passed away, right? Suddenly. And so but here's the kicker, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't realize when you lose a child, okay, that's horrible in itself. Right. Period. There's no question about that. One of the worst parts, is that when people ask me what happened to my son, I feel guilt, right? So my son passed away from a fentanyl overdose. He took what he thought was a Xanax and it was fentanyl, right? Right. But automatically, when you say that to certain people, what do they think? What do they think? They think my son was a crackhead. Yes, of course. And so my thing, they don't know that stuff is in everything. They don't know, right? Especially when you're speaking to older people and stuff. Like I met this congresswoman. Long story short, though, she was very judgy and stuff, and she really condemned me kind of because of what happened to my son, right? But then I thought about
for real?
Yeah, seriously. And of course, I have a little bit of beef with my son because why'd you pop a pill? Why'd you do that? It didn't work out well. I'm mad about it. And I remember, right, back in the day, I took an ecstasy pill one time, right? And so my Thankful Thursday thought of the day is, it's not just for me. It's for everybody out here as we're judging people and thinking about how, you should have done this or this was stupid or you did this or you should have done that. My Thankful Thursday thought of the day is, I think it would have been me. It could have been me. Yep. It should have been me. If it wasn't for the blood. I'm just saying. So it could have been me, it could have been you, and it could have been you. Yep. But so remember that as we're judging one another, as we're thinking about how, you should have did this was stupid, this was that. Remember the fact that
know that it was in it, but they put that in everything.
But here's the kicker. This is what made me kind of think about it. So many people have these, responses to it. The news when I tell them about this, but then there's other people who I speak to who have had the same experiences. You know what I'm saying? So their child passed away or their friend's child or whoever else. I know a girl who passed away because she thought she was taking a Tylenol and it was fentanyl the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But it's in so many things. And unfortunately, I hate to make things a color thing, but we as people of color are not as aware of the resources available to us. But at the health department, you can get the testing strips, right? Make them available to your kids' friends, your neighbors, whoever. When you go to certain areas, they have them all over the place, right? And there's fentanyl in weed. There's fentanyl in every drug now as you're finding it in the streets. So I really just want to encourage you to promote intelligence, to make sure your kids aren't ignorant. Make sure you're not being ignorant. So if you are trying anything or your kids may try anything, let them have at least the testing strip. So at least whatever they're trying is what they're really trying. That's right. And not something else. I just saw a video of a kid in a bodega in New York, and they tested the what is it called? The stuff you sprinkle on weed. I don't know what it's called. Funnel, right? But they called it grabba, like they call it in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So he tested the grabba, and it had fentanyl in it that he bought from the bodega. So test everything. I'm just saying, be wary, watch your back.
And everything like that.
Exactly. And he went back to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just tested this, and it's it has fentanyl in it, and the guy was just looking at him like, what? I mean, I don't know. That type of situation, but it could have had a
trying to kill us.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's crazy.
That's the point. So let's all be prepared. Let's keep ourselves. Let's be vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is bondage. So let's not be in bondage.
And for it to be in that, and they know that some black kid is going to buy that.
Exactly. That's exactly the point,
it's in the hood, I'm sure.
Exactly.
There ain't no white person going to, so they try to kill us.
Exactly. But when I watch shows like Border Patrol, I see kids coming over from Canada, and guess what they have in their packs? They have a whole kit, a whole testing kit, because they already know what it is, and they're on their way to a party, but they're being prepared, so they're planning. Right. So I just want to make sure we're all again remembering, it would have been me. It could have been me, and it should have been me. if it wasn't for the blood.
There you go.
Now, let's give another shout out to our sponsors, the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. Shout out to BAM 640. Thank you for everybody tuning in. And if you have not, again, seen my previous episodes, please check out the replays. They are going to be our go.
Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill them all like the Reaper. I need a girl like MEKA. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo, cause shorty's too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo.